Chapter 2. Caela's voice burst through my phone with enough force that I nearly dropped it into my coffee. My fingers scrambled for the volume button, which, unfortunately for me, always seemed to hide at the exact moment I needed it most.
Anna, look!
The camera steadied just long enough for Caela's face to fill the screen. Her cheeks were flushed, her smile stretched wider than I had ever seen it, and she looked physically incapable of sitting still. Before I could form an actual sentence, she shoved her left hand toward the camera. The diamond caught the light first, bright enough to flare across the screen without looking too flashy. Even through a phone camera, the ring was impossible to miss. Holy crap! I straightened against the kitchen counter and nearly abandoned my coffee altogether. Is that... Wait, my brother actually did it? Behind her, Ethan leaned into the frame, wearing the proud expression of someone who had just completed a marathon and wanted the world to acknowledge it. His short, dark hair was still damp and pushed back in lazy streaks, and he wore the same faded green high school hoodie he had refused to retire for nearly a decade. "Last night," Caela said, her voice pitching higher again as if she had not already repeated the story to half the people she knew. "After dinner, in front of the entire family, Abby cried. Ashley pretended she wasn't crying. It was perfect." "I was waiting for the right moment," Ethan said dryly, pressing a quick kiss to her temple before stepping out of frame. "More like nervous," I called after him. From somewhere off screen, a cabinet shut harder than necessary. Riley barked once from the hallway as if she too had an opinion. "See?" I said. "Even Riley thinks you stalled." "Tell your dog to stay out of it," Ethan replied, his voice echoing faintly. "She's biased. That hardly counts." "She's not my dog," I corrected him, "and it took you 5 years.
"She likes you more than me,"
he muttered from somewhere off in the distance.
"Maybe even more than Sam."
I smiled despite myself. He was wrong, of course. Riley's loyalty to Sam was unbreakable. The two of them existed on some silent wavelength I had never managed to interrupt or fully understand, and I had accepted long ago that I ranked slightly below national security and slightly above chew toys. Caela rolled her eyes. "Ignore him. Can you believe it? We're actually getting married. I keep expecting to wake up and realize I imagined it all." "You didn't," I assured her. "Trust me, that ring looks far too real to be part of a dream." As Caela tilted her hand to catch the light again, I understood why I could not stop looking at it. The ring was simple without being plain, and elegant without demanding everyone's attention. Somehow, it felt exactly like the two of them. Caela had been part of our lives for so long that it was difficult to remember when she had not been included in something. I still remembered one of the first Sundays Ethan brought her to sit with our mother at church in high school. She had kept her hands folded tightly in her lap, speaking only when someone addressed her directly, while the sleeve of her cardigan kept slipping over her fingers. Now she commanded FaceTime calls like a morning show host. "You two have been heading this way since high school," I said. "It just finally feels official now." Her smile softened. "Before you know it, it'll be your turn too." I rolled my eyes, though I could feel the heat creeping up my neck. "My turn." Before I could stop myself, my gaze drifted toward the hallway. The guitar remained out of sight from the kitchen, but I could picture it clearly enough. The dark wood, the hollow body, and the small black box I had returned to its hiding place only yesterday. I still had not decided what unsettled me more, finding the ring or realizing my answer had arrived before Sam ever asked the question. My brain, apparently unconcerned with the fact that we were not even engaged yet, supplied the rest anyway. I saw a clearing somewhere beneath the mountains. Riley trotting down the aisle as though the ceremony had been organized entirely for her benefit. Sam waiting at the other end, probably adjusting his glasses because he needed something to do with his hands. "Anna?" Caela's voice pulled me back. "Sorry," I said quickly. "Still here." She grinned. "Good, because now that I've shown you the sparkly part, you're still coming tomorrow, right? Paradise Cove?" At the mention of Paradise Cove, I tightened both hands around my mug. The trip had lived inside group messages and calendar reminders for nearly a year. distant enough that it had never felt entirely real. Now, there was only a plane ride between me and the mountains, horseback trails, cold lake water, and an entire week with people I had not seen in far too long. "Of course," I said, reaching behind me for my plane ticket and holding it up to the camera. "I'm officially committed." "Good," she said. "Danielle and Patrick are taking the van, which means Danielle will make a schedule and Patrick will ignore every part of it. Nick and Lauren are riding with them. It's going to be loud, crowded, and perfect." I laughed. "So, fam bam in full force." "Minus Cameron and Miranda," she added. "They have a friend's wedding. Miranda is still very upset about missing the trip." The ridiculous name still made me smile. Patrick had coined Fam Bam years earlier because he knew everyone else would hate it, which was apparently all the encouragement he needed. Somehow, the name had survived long enough to become permanent. These were not friendships maintained through occasional birthday messages or polite promises to meet for coffee. They had survived moves, new jobs, weddings, and arguments that felt catastrophic at midnight, but usually ended over breakfast the next morning. They were the people who showed up before being invited because they knew when one of their own needed them. And somewhere along the way, they had started showing up for me, too. Caela leaned closer to the screen. "Wait." Her smile faltered. "That's only one ticket." I lowered it. "Yes." Her expression softened, but it shifted all the same. "Sam can't make it, can he?" "He tried," I said quickly. "There's a big technology initiative announcement coming up. He's handling security for it, and he couldn't step away. The president needs him there." For a few seconds, the rain against the window filled the space neither of us seemed willing to touch. Behind Caela, Ethan reappeared and leaned against the counter with his arms crossed, his posture arranged into something that was supposed to look casual. It did not fool me. His expression had flattened in the subtle way I knew too well. Before Sam and I started dating, he and Ethan had been inseparable. There had been late-night ice cream runs, spontaneous road trips, and plans that stretched years into the future. Their friendship had not ended once Sam and I got together, but the ease between them had narrowed until every conversation seemed to require more effort than either of them wanted to admit. To Ethan, the timing had always looked too convenient. I started dating Sam, left college, and moved to Washington, D.C. From the outside, Sam became the easiest explanation for all of it. The truth was less organized. College had stopped feeling like a life I wanted long before I packed the first box, and moving had been my decision. Sam had offered me a place beside him. He had never dragged me anywhere. The arguments between Ethan and me had been sharp, exhausting, and far too repetitive. Even now, whenever Sam's name surfaced, I could see my brother preparing for another one. "It's okay," Caela said gently, shooting Ethan a warning glance. "We'll miss him, but at least you'll be here." I nodded and rubbed my thumb along the folded edge of the ticket. "When do you fly out?" she asked, brightening again. "Tonight at 8:45. There's a long layover, but I land around 8 in the morning your time." "Good," she said firmly. "We'll be there. And don't even think about getting a shuttle or Uber. Ethan's already building a playlist." I groaned. "Please tell me it's not all country." "It's balanced," Ethan called from behind her. "And I have excellent taste. You're welcome." "That means yes," I said. Caela laughed. "Ignore him. Oh, and by the way, Patrick's already planning campfire chili again." I winced. "Does Danielle know?" "She found the beans yesterday. It was an entire hour-long conversation." "That poor woman," I said. As the laughter faded, Caela studied me more closely. Her excitement did not disappear, but it settled enough for her to notice what I had hoped the phone camera would hide. "Are you okay?" The question came more quietly this time. I hesitated, tracing one finger around the rim of my mug while I considered how much I could say without mentioning the ring hidden 20 feet away. Between the storm, Sam leaving before I woke, and the thought of getting on a plane without him that evening, my mind had become crowded enough without trying to explain any of it aloud. "Just one of those mornings," I said finally, hoping it was enough. She didn't look convinced, but she let it go. "We love you," she said, "and I'm tracking your flight, so don't even think about sneaking out of baggage claim before we get there."
Of course you are.
After we said goodbye, the screen went dark and returned a faint reflection of my face. The rain had softened against the windows, but across the room my suitcase still lay open where Sam had left it the night before, half packed and waiting. Beyond it, the study doorway framed the guitar hanging on the wall. Paradise Cove was waiting. Even so, my eyes stayed on the guitar, on the question hidden inside it, and on the answer I would be carrying with me when I left.